2018 is done.
It is.
It is now time for 6 months of messing up writing 2019.
Right.
Before you get used to it. But realistically now, I don't know how much paper do you actually write on?
I write on something every day.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, there you go. I don't write a lot. I type, so it's a little bit easier to not mess up.
Oh, I mess up on typing it all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. So 2018's done. We're going to talk about board gaming specifically for the entire year, some of our favorite things and some other topics. But first, we're going to talk about some favorite gaming moments, things that happen at conventions or even at our local meetups or whatever. Anything that you want to talk about. Matt, let's start with you.
Oh, I didn't think about like us just getting together.
Yeah.
But the main one I had, I'll just start with it, was the Gen Con dance, and me tipping the sound guy $1 to play the Tetris theme song and getting the people that were dressed like the Tetris pieces jump in the middle of everyone. And
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That was pretty epic.
pretty eventful event. So it was a lot of fun.
That was good. Is that the only one you have? Or you have
That's the only one I wrote down, but I didn't think about times of us just playing. I'm sure I could think of something here.
Eric, you got one?
Well, this is kind of gaming related, but just going out to the, doing our first escape room.
That was my first thing I put on here, too.
Take it from you.
Yeah. No, it's cool. We'll talk about
So it was pretty cool. And then, we have another escape room to go to. We just have to get that scheduled out.
Do we really?
Yeah. Remember Christmas?
What was our Christmas present?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yes. I got you one, Eric, but apparently when you order things late, it takes forever during the holidays. So, yeah.
My mom had that happen.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, they haven't even sent me a shipping notice, and it's been a little bit. So, anyway, keep going.
Oh, besides that, so, I just look forward to going to all the conventions. We have like almost our gaming family or convention family over there. Jason, Michael, and Mariah, and just meeting them, getting to play games with them. We only get to meet them a couple times a year.
That's true. Which actually they're not that far away, so we should probably maybe schedule something to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 6 hours between us. We can meet halfway.
That's pretty far, but
yeah, that's true.
Could do it.
Yeah. Is it 6 hours? I don't remember. No, I think it's like 3 hours, and we can meet an hour and a half. That's more doable.
Oh yeah, that's definitely doable.
Or I'm wrong. Anyway, I put the escape room thing. That was phenomenal. I had a lot of fun. That is basically, I'm tapping my arm right now.
Okay.
Yeah, give me the needle.
Give me more.
I was super pumped about War Machine, which we just talked about. Dude, it was awesome. Like, I have not played it since 3rd edition came out, and that's been 2016. So it's like 2 years. I've played it in just over 2 years.
Wow.
And actually, I only played one game of it with my brother-in-law, and then I hadn't played it for like a year before that. So it's been quite a lot of time, and I still buy stuff for it all the time.
Nice.
I keep up with it. And the last thing is, or at least the one that I wrote down, was the podcast that we did at Gen Con. I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that was awesome. Matt, did you think of anything else?
I actually kind of thought of that one.
Yeah.
Because it was a kind of off the beaten path for us.
Yeah. We had Emerson on there. It was a good time. We've been trying to get Emerson on the podcast for a while, but it worked out that he was there, and that he actually made room for us, and his schedule is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize, I don't remember her first name, but she's from Board Game Corner. Do you remember it?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
I'm horrible with names.
I meant to ask you. I think that's why I didn't mention it, because I couldn't remember her name, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't have time to go listen to it again, but she was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. That was the first time we had 5 people on the... Did we have 5?
Yeah, me, you, Roy.
Oh, yeah, Roy was on it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's right. Eric, where were you at?
His daughter was there.
Yeah, Emily.
That's
the
right.
day.
For some reason... Oh my gosh, Roy's going to kill me. But yeah, it was awesome having Roy on there. I totally forgot. I guess it wasn't the best thing ever. No, that was a really good podcast. 5 people, and I think it worked out really well. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. I think we talked about a lot of stuff that's not time sensitive, so you can, if you want to learn
get something from it
more about Emerson, we did talk about him a lot, so it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really good. Yep. I think I didn't immediately think Roy because he was sitting to my right, and I was sitting at a diagonal the whole time, so like weird positioning.
Sure.
But it was interesting doing it in the middle of the hallway.
Yes.
That was cool. No one came up and asked us what we were doing.
No.
I think it was pretty obvious. We had microphones stuffed into each other's face.
Right.
So What about games that were disappointing? And what we mean by this is a game that, we're not going to pick on bad games. That's not what this is for.
This
But
wasn't 2018 games, was it, or was it?
No.
Just games we played this year?
it could be 2018 games, but it's any games that we played in 2018.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't restricted to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So games that you were like looking forward to, maybe you didn't have the greatest expectations, but then they just disappointed you for some reason.
I have one.
Let's start with Eric.
Scythe. Yeah, awesome looking game.
Shots fired.
Yeah. It is awesome looking game.
Oh, it was hyped.
It's
heavily.
hyped. I played a nice copy. It was painted well. Everything was going well. But it just didn't click for me. I didn't like the mechanics that were in the game and the gameplay itself. Awesome looking game, but it disappointed me.
I'm gonna agree with them, but I think I played it year before.
Right.
But either way, I think that it's just.
And you even said something in regards, you was like, I played it, there was a lot of hype to it. So you was like, something didn't click, or I don't know why I don't like it.
I feel like 90% of the game is not even interacting with anybody else.
Right.
I mean, it's like
it's like the mechanic where you're fighting in it.
I hate that combat system.
Right. The combat system sucked for me.
They did that in Tiny Epic Kingdoms, and I think that's the only reason that keeps me away from that one, which is sad because I like pretty much every Tiny Epic game.
Yeah.
But Tiny Epic Kingdoms, like that combat system where it's just like set a secret number on this dial and then waste all those resources. It's a cool thing, but there's no indication. It's just so random.
Right. And that actually...
It's either all or nothing usually, but...
Yeah. Well, you have a max you can use, I think. You can go up to like 8, and I think your bar is 12 or 20 or something.
But I don't know, it's just super annoying. I'd rather roll a bunch of dice or have some kind of predetermined combat using cards.
Right. Which you do put a card out, but the values on those are pretty low if I remember right. Like 2 to 4 or something.
But either way, the combat in the game is secondary, which I do like. I don't like the fact that it's not just like risk.
Sure.
A prettier risk.
Right.
But I feel like it's a bunch of, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like it's a bunch of cheap shots, usually, just so they can score the star from the combat victory.
Right. And then,
he's got a guy just hanging out over there. Punch. It's like sucker punch. Bam. It's not like somebody's being aggressive on purpose because there's no need to in the game. And so I think it just kind of reverts down
there's
to being,
some needs where you can
like
take the resources.
Yeah, that's fair, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I am willing to play this game again. I did not hate it. I just was like, meh.
And that might have been the problem too, because there was hype behind it. I expected more from it.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess it's a game that did get quite a bit of hype.
Right.
And it's still doing really well, and I'm sure a lot of people like it. Well, I know a lot of people like it, but it doesn't have to be for everyone.
Right.
My game, I'm going to say, is Nyctophobia.
Oh, really?
But I'll tell you why.
What?
I'll tell you why.
I thought you liked that game.
No, I do love it.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I just don't want to play it again.
Oh, really?
Like, here's the interesting thing. I thought that going into it, I was like, this game sounds amazing. It's going to be an awesome experience and everything. And I feel like I experienced it. And that's all I needed to do.
Okay.
And so the disappointing doesn't come from the game. It is phenomenal. It is great. Everything about it's awesome.
That's unique.
It's unique. But I feel like once you experience the game, the only reason why you would need to play it again is to show other people.
Sure.
That's the takeaway I got from it.
There's other scenarios, I believe, and whatnot.
Oh, there's just guys in different locations. I mean, but you still got a blindfold and you're doing stuff. It's a cool experience, but I'm saying it's one of those games that, one, you have to prepare yourself for it to play. It's kind of like, do I feel like playing this type of game right now?
Do I feel like being blindfolded for 30 minutes or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're not really blindfolded.
Well, you have glasses on.
At least lets light in so you don't get fatigued or whatever. But I don't know. The disappointing part to me is simply because the shine worn off. And now it's like, well, it's a really good game, but I've experienced it, so I don't know if I necessarily have to pick it up and play it a whole lot.
Gotcha.
Even if I bought it, I don't see us playing it many times. What do you think of it? Like, I mean, are you looking forward to playing it again?
Even on the first time playing it, it was just okay for me. So
that's fair.
Yeah, It wasn't something I was looking forward to, I guess.
What, playing it? It sounds interesting, but I don't know. I would probably be a one-time play and be okay. I got it.
Yeah. Although you didn't play with us, did you?
No, I did not.
Gotcha.
But I even.
All right. Well, maybe I'll pick it up and have that play.
Yeah, I mean, but even
go.
hearing on it, it was like, man, it sounds neat, but I just don't know how much more there is to offer beyond the first gameplay.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, I don't know. I hate to like compare it to like skydiving or something, but you're doing something that's like so outlandish that you're like, oh, that sounds awesome, and then you do it and you're like, I'm done. I beat that.
Yeah.
I'm not like beat it, but I experienced it.
That's kind of
that's
like
all I wanted it for.
That's kind of like the tower. I forgot the name of it. Tower of Amorosa, or
Mordai Morosa, which I wrote down
Amorosa.
because if y'all did not say it, I was going to bring it up.
oh really? Okay.
Did we do multiple games, or is it y'all just do one?
We've played at least 2.
I played it more, but yeah.
Right.
No.
you played it.
Games you are putting on here.
I'll put a couple. You can put as
okay.
many as you want.
Well, I'll say more Morosa.
All right, add that one in there.
Because I did write it down.
Oh, did
Okay.
you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, go ahead. Talk about it, Matt.
Well, I mean, it was funny whenever you were talking about.
Was it disappointing, or you just didn't think it was a good game?
No, I think the problem is you. And
Yeah,
I say that. I say
know.
I say that.
Tell us how you really feel.
I hyped it up way too much. didn't I?
Exactly, and it was funny. I was
yeah.
thinking of this whenever you were talking about War Machine. I was like, Tim,
Is it gonna live up to the hype?
Tim is a pretty good hype guy. He does he does hype things up and sell it pretty well. So yeah, you had this game hyped up like it was this really awesome experience, and it sounded cool, but then you play it and it just was like,
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Just
War Machine is not like that.
This is War Machine's better.
Yeah. No, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, so I mean that was the only problem. Sometimes kind of like really that most of the time when you are disappointed, it's just what you think it should be in your head.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't
Right.
live up to it. It's like a movie.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I hate hearing movies are great because usually I'm already thinking,
Oh, this is gonna be great.
this better be like the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
it's not, it's nothing but a disappointment from that point on. So
Yeah.
Another game that I had that was very similar to the feeling of Nyctophobia is Mask of the Pharaoh.
Oh, really? Yeah.
We played that multiple times. The VR game.
yeah, I
Yeah.
liked it.
No, I liked it too. I just feel like I don't necessarily know if I need to bust it out anymore. I mean, we did play it a couple of times, but
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you want to?
I wouldn't hate it if you did, but I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's the same thing you're saying though. You experienced it once.
Yes, because it's such a unique game.
Yeah.
Once you experience it, that's it. Like, that's cool. I experienced it. I moved on. And I feel like that's what's disappointing to me is, and maybe that's just me. Because
Yeah.
it's like I take a unique thing and I'm like, well, I experienced, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I don't want to sound elitist, but like, Nyctophobia is the same way. It's so unique that it's like, is it somewhat of a hassle to play it because it's that unique?
Or you might feel like from one play to the next, there's not going to be a lot different. So you've experienced it, so you don't have to go back and experience it again because your next playthrough of it is going to be really similar.
Yeah. And there's other games too. I mean, like, there's games that you play and you experience everything as you're playing it. And you're like,
Right.
oh, well, I don't need to play it again.
Yeah.
Which is saddening because I want to play it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I don't think I have any more of those. I mean, what, you got any more disappointing?
Did you have any?
Well, I got one more.
Go ahead.
Root for me, another big game that's really hyped right at the moment. But yeah, just for me at least, it kind of fell flat. There's a lot of learning that goes into the game because you have to learn what your guy does, but you also have to learn everybody else's. So, being that the game requires more time commitment, and it's hyped by people. People tend to like it, so you're going in with higher expectations. And I played the Vagabond, which I felt like it was easier for me to win. And for you guys, you had to pretty much sacrifice a little bit yourselves to keep me down, I guess. And I didn't really like that aspect of it.
Right. I agree. I think it's funny because I listen to podcasts. Everybody's like, the Vagabond is my favorite. Well, yeah, it makes sense because it is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sweet in a very annoying way. We need to play it a little bit more just to make sure.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I didn't hate the game. I actually liked it quite a bit. I thought the Vagabond was actually annoying because there shouldn't ever be something in a game that everybody else has to commit time to stopping them whereas everybody else is literally trying to beat each other down to win.
Right.
And then the Vagabond's kind of doing its own thing. You have to just...
Well, maybe we played it wrong too, because the Vagabond is also like a little helper. You know, you help me, I help you.
Yeah, but everybody I spoke to always said that everybody has to take their turn to knock him down. And I think that's just a stupid concept.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not it's balanced is a different thing. You know, a game can be balanced and stupid in concept at the same time. You know, like Blue Decks in Magic. Like,
Yeah.
they work, they're balanced. You don't see Blue Decks winning every single tournament, or at least, you know, today. But at the same time, who wants to sit around and get controlled the entire day? I want to play this game. You played it better than me. It's not because you stopped me from doing what I should be doing. So it's a stupid concept to be able to deny somebody the whole time, you know. Anyway, I'm getting on a tangent with Magic, but I just feel like it's going against the grain, and I feel like the Vagabond's kind of like that, because one person can go out of their way to stop him a couple of turns in a row, and then everybody else just kind of ignores it, and then now those players are ahead of the player who's trying to stop the Vagabond. So I guess at that point you just need to negotiate and be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop taking you down. Let's just work together.
Right.
So I guess there is a little bit of negotiation that probably needs to happen.
Sure.
I just think that it's easily exploited and annoying. So we'll see if it changes after a couple more plays, but that's initial thoughts. What did you think about that?
I actually had it on my surprise, but
Oh, okay. We'll move on.
So you felt differently.
but anyways, but on the other spectrum though, on my disappointment, I actually put Vast.
Oh, that's fair.
And that actually coincides with why I think Root was actually a surprise, because I really disliked Vast. Partly because of the person I played. I played the Rogue or whatever.
Right.
It was kind of a boring character.
It was a boring character to play, but even at that, I just wasn't a fan of the modular board play and everything.
Are we talking about the cave?
Yeah, the cave just wasn't. I didn't care for just pretty much the modular board. I don't mind taking the time to learn the game because it is interesting, but I think in that one it was more imperative to really pay attention to what everyone else could do. Whereas versus Root didn't seem quite as. It didn't have as much emphasis on really paying attention to what everybody else was doing. It was kind of like you kind of got an idea. I think you even had a player board. They would just straight tell you what they kind of did, and it would help you.
Or a little card.
Yeah, a little card, right. So the Vast was probably one that was super, super hyped. Everyone loved it, and I just didn't get it. Did you all not have any more?
I don't have any more of those, no.
The only other one I had was Merlin. Mainly.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to add that on there, too.
Well, and it wasn't going into it. It wasn't like I was hearing it was awesome. But during the rules explanation, myself was just like, this is going to be great.
We got to try it again.
This sounds awesome. But, man, that gameplay got really stagnant after a little bit. And I think we all just kind of felt the same way about it. But
I actually have a whole list of games that I wanted to kind of mention, possibly. And it's on there. I just didn't put it in the category of disappointing. But, yeah, we talked about it on the other episode. It's not a bad game. It's just not, I don't know, it just seemed a lot longer in doing the same thing over and over. But if you're curious about more of those thoughts, check out our, impressions on that one.
Right.
All right. Any more disappointing games?
No.
All right. So starting with you, Matt. Games that surprised or impressed you, not because they were amazing, because either you didn't, expect them to be so good, or you didn't expect anything out of them, or whatever the case. Just,
right.
Obviously the best games are going to be for the favorite games played, but go ahead.
Right. Yeah. And so that's why I put Root here, being as how it was pretty much the second game from the same company that made Vast. Kind of the same asymmetrical gameplay and everything. But they did eliminate the modular board, which I didn't care for. They implemented critters, which I love. And again, just during the rules explanation, I was getting excited. And even really during Vast, the rules explanation, I was getting excited. I was like, this sounds neat. It just didn't, everything gel for me.
I think if you played a different character, you might like it better.
That's possible.
Because I liked it quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Not saying that,
we don't have to like everything the same time.
I know. But I'm just saying, I got bored of your character and I wasn't playing it.
Yeah. We feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Matt gets to take his 2 seconds.
Yeah. And that probably was what was just so bad about it, was everybody took so long to take a turn, and it got to me. It was like, done.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
not like you played bad. You actually did all right, but it's just like your only mechanism is to move 3 tokens.
Right.
Which stat do you want to have higher than the other? Whereas we had all these cool like interactions and things, you know.
And it wasn't my job to really interact because everybody had
No,
kind of
you-
like a paper, rock, scissor thing going on with each other.
And you're
I
just
wasn't,
kinda there.
I wasn't involved in that.
Yeah.
So,
You were the 5th player shoe in.
Yeah.
so yeah, just Root. It was a little bit different experience for me. I'm not saying it was like the greatest game ever. We did actually kind of have a bad experience with it. Just because I don't know if we just misunderstood
'Cause
something or
I broke it.
or Eric broke the game or what happened. If we play it again, we'll figure it out. But,
we just need to iron that one out for sure.
Or it might just take the play group to know how to handle that character.
Right.
And we just didn't know it.
There is an expansion that adds 2 more characters.
Nah, we're not doing that yet. We gotta do
Okay.
base game. Base game.
Base game.
We can't figure
or
out base game. You're not adding an expansion.
Base game 3 players.
And I'm not saying we didn't figure it out, but you know,
Yeah.
obviously one time is not enough to really super judge it, but you know, first impressions are the biggest impressions.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so that is where I think that a lot of this is derived. I mean, you play it and something incredibly bad happens, such as, hey, Eric just steamrolls over us with one dude.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you guys got an
what?
army? I got one dude.
What? Yeah. So, Eric, surprises.
Oh, surprises. Actually, I have
I got a
game.
couple. I didn't know if y'all just wanted to round robin.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Round robin it, but I do have a couple as well.
Okay.
There's a Hobbit game, Dragon's Breath. It
Oh,
came
yeah.
out at Gen Con this year, I think. Yeah, for a kids game, it is pretty nice. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So usually I kind of shy away from a lot of kid games because I get like, I don't know. I can't take games that that are you can't do anything where it's predetermined or maybe you just roll a dice or something. But in this game it is interactive. It's good playing with adults too. So yeah, it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by this one. And it looks cool. You don't think much of it, and then you play it, and you're like, wow, that's actually... It's not like a deep game, but for
Right.
so simple it is as it is, it's fun to play with adults, let alone adding kids in.
Right.
You gonna pick this one up, Matt?
Probably not, but I mean, it is fun.
Yeah.
I know you all talked about it, and
Have you played it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
played it
thought
with
you
y'all.
had. Yeah.
And oddly enough, I wasn't sure if Tim was doing the hype machine job on it or not, but it was actually pretty good.
Hey, look, I think I'm pretty. I do pretty well with hyping the right things. maybe. Have I stirred you wrong a lot?
Not too much. I think More Rosa was just probably the highest
biggest
one.
one.
Well,
Yeah.
only because it was so hard to find, and I talked it over like a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I really wish I could get
Or he
this
had a good
game, or-
experience with it, which helps it.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It probably helped that we were playing it at a convention and you could barely hear what's going on. So
Right.
it was a lot more like
It might have, maybe it could have been.
maybe. Yeah, we'll play music next time.
Yeah.
My first surprise is Barbarian Battlegrounds by Greenbrier Games.
Actually, I have that on my list as well.
Yeah.
Initially, look at the box, I'm like, nah. But go ahead.
Greenbrier is super nice to us. They're really good. They always give us a lot of stuff so we can review, talk about it on the podcast and everything. You're super grateful for them. They're really nice people. And Julie was like, check out this game Barbarians. And I look over at it. I'm like, I don't know about this, man.
Right.
This is like direct conflict. I like it in one-on-one combat situations, but in a 4-player free-for-all, like just beating each other down, I was like, I don't know about this. But, so we sat down, we played it, and I was like, wow, actually, this game's awesome.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I've actually liked, it's a small box game.
Where
It's
is it?
It's right up here.
Oh, okay. I saw
And-
you looking
and
at it.
And it packs up, there's a lot of gameplay in a small box, and I've actually really enjoyed those type of games.
Yeah, I think that's I love games. Like we talked about that with Michael Strogoff. Small box, a lot of gameplay.
Or Draku.
Yeah, or Draku. Oh, man. Talk about some Draku. Anyway, Matt.
We're doing surprises?
Yeah, just round robin it until we're all done.
I actually put Carthage on here.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a secondary publisher or self-published or whatever game.
SAS Interactive, I think.
Yeah,
I put it on mine too.
And it's you brought this to the table. I was like, I don't know. It's kind of like, I guess, arena style, whatever. Usually I don't care about that kind of stuff, but surprisingly, this game was a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed this a lot.
I like the artwork and
everything about it was good artwork, the gameplay, just it was a good experience. So
Yeah, I do have my problems with it, which we talked about on the episode we talked about the game.
Right.
You know, obviously the cards are kind of bland. You know, it's just like 3 stats that are on the cards for the most part. And the fact that if you're playing like if it was in a competitive setting, you can totally game it with the whole like I'm just gonna stay over here and do nothing and
No,
build.
let you guys fight it out.
Yeah, like you know, so
Yeah.
it'd be cooler.
It'd be like-
It'd be you know teams and stuff like that. But overall, though, it was a fun experience.
Yes.
I was way more surprised. I thought it was just going to be kind of hot trash.
right.
And well, I guess I didn't think it was going to be because I signed up to get a review copy. So I looked into the game, but I was like, I don't know. It seems like it's going to be okay, and it was better than okay.
Yeah, I guess for me it was just more of a. I usually don't care for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like y'all were talking about the Barbarians. It's a fine game. It's not something I care for. Although that game is kind of quick, so it's not quite as brutal.
That's fair.
But with Carthage though, it was just it was fun. I mean, it's the best way to put it. It was just a fun little kind of quick skirmish game. So
Cool. Any more, Eric?
Just got one more on here. Actually, 1 second. No, talk about it later.
no.
I'm
Oh,
done.
that's fair. That's fair. What about you, Matt?
Actually, I put Dice Forge. I guess I didn't really expect a whole lot from this game. I didn't really expect anything, but just playing it was just a neat concept. I like the board that, or how the box kind of holds all the components for
Yeah,
you
the
and
insert.
everything. Yeah, the insert. That and then the other one I got is I always was interested in this game, Tower of Madness, but I really didn't expect much from it. But I was actually pleasantly surprised that there was a lot more gameplay in that than what I was thinking it would have.
I put Tower of Madness as well because it is one of those games that you play and you're like, this is gonna be gimmicky, but then it's not gimmicky.
No, it was a lot more fun than what I anticipated. So
Yeah, it had a lot of cool stuff going on. It's got dice rolling, and it would have been cool if that part was slightly different. But I mean, I like it how it is. It just would have been neat to have like more. Well, we talked about it in that thing.
Yeah,
Right.
another layer of mechanics, perhaps.
Yeah. But it is cool that like you don't want to pull from the tower, but you do want to pull from the tower.
Right.
Yep.
that is nice. The only other 2 I put on here is Trap Words, which
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I almost wanted to put this on my favorite games played, but I'm not much into the party team on. No, you know what? I'm gonna put it on my.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one in a minute. That was super good, actually. And the last one I had was Unusual Suspects.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be that awesome.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I am blown away by how fun this is.
Mhm.
Any game, and I know that it's a short game, but any game that we play
It's a super short game, but
until people leave and we don't play anything else, I feel like that's honorable to talk about.
Right.
So, all right. So our favorite games played of 2018, not necessarily 2018 releases, because your favorite ones should be on the top 5 that we're about ready to do. But Eric, what was some of your favorite games? Just do one and we'll round robin.
Sure, I think this was in 2018. Is Crokinole? Was it right? It was
We played that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was on
2018.
there. Yeah.
So we signed up for a tournament, which it was a Swiss tournament, I guess. We thought we were gonna go play a game or 2. We ended up playing like
6 hours.
it was a lot, like half the day, but it was worth it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I did enjoy myself. And yeah, eventually I'll get my own board. That's
Same here.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing about it. It does take up a decent amount of room space. It is a little costly, but very fun game.
All you need is to have like a coat of arms or like a shield graphic, and then you
On
get
the
to hang
back?
it on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, bam. Instant artwork.
Well, a lot of people, I think, do that.
They do, yeah.
Mhm.
My first is Luxor, or Luxor,
Mhm.
however you want to say it. That is a Spiel des Jahres.
Winner,
Did it
wasn't
win?
it?
Yeah, it won. Yeah.
I thought it did.
It or at least it was nominated. I can't remember now.
I thought it won.
Did it win?
I believe it won.
Oh, sweet. Matt's gonna look it up. Anyway, this game is phenomenal. I remember playing it at Lexicon with Travis showing us the game, and I was like, this is straight up amazing. Like for that style in depth of a game,
Right.
it is doing some awesome stuff. And I've mentioned it on the Dice Tower Guild on Board Game Geek, and some people were talking about,
Did not win.
I-
Nominee.
was
Oh,
it the
really?
Mind
Who-
that won?
I don't know what it. Just looking at the Luxor page, I don't know.
Ah,
Who
gotcha.
won.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't think it did. I said that it should be nominated for Spiel des Jahres, and it got nominated.
Yeah.
Bam, called it. But I thought, like, this game is awesome. It's one of the best gateway games I've ever played. I think, honestly, the theme might drag it back
A little bit, right?
because I don't know how well Egyptian themes and tomb raiding themes actually stand
Azul
out there.
one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, actually, if I would have thought about that for 5 seconds. But yeah, super good. As soon as we got done playing it, I was not joking to him. I was like, this game's awesome. It's so good. And yeah, man, good stuff.
Yep. I was totally pumped to finally play Millennium Blades.
Oh, yeah.
It was my copy. I love parody stuff. It is a TCG game. It is somewhat lengthy, but it still had that feel of actually being in a TCG tournament. So I really had a lot of fun with that. So
Which I don't even think it was. It
wasn't that. It wasn't. It wasn't like super long, but
there was a lot to learn and a lot of cards to pull out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really good game.
I should also mention that Luxor was probably my number 6.
Oh,
and that's why I mentioned it here. Otherwise, it would have been on my top 5.
So, other games on here, we already kind of talked about some of them. Unusual Suspects, Barbarian, Dragon's Breath, Terraforming Mars. It came out before 2018, obviously, but that's when we started playing it. And awesome game, like a lot of other people have already played, already know about. But yeah, really enjoyed that one. It's 3 hours, whether you have 2 players or 4 players. But other than the drawback of being a longer game, it's worth playing even though it's long.
Yep. I'm a huge fan. This is on my list as well. Terraforming Mars is very possibly top 10 for me.
Yeah, and there is an expansion that is coming out or already came out.
Colonies?
I believe so. That gives you additional abilities that kind of speed up the game as well. So
I think it's Colonies, maybe.
That'll probably help it.
Yeah.
Get to
I've
the
got
table
2 of the
more often.
expansions. We just haven't played it.
We need to.
I know, we do. But for some reason, we have 8 people. Oh, no, I was just kidding. Another one for me is Fury of Dracula. I did not expect to like this as much as I did, but when we played it, I was like, that was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That was super good. I know it was a good game because everybody likes it. Or I know at least it was good enough,
Right.
But we played it. I was Dracula. I felt like a BA the whole time. And I was like, yes.
Come to me.
And actually, I don't know. I want to play it again as one of the hunters.
To see the other side of the table.
To see the other side, but I almost think that Dracula is much funner. Much more fun.
Yes, probably.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Anything else for you, Matt?
Language. I wrote down role players, monsters, and minions.
Fair enough.
It's an expansion, but it added another level to already. I think I had this in my top 10, or maybe I know you did.
I had it in my top 10.
But yeah, I like role player, and this added like another level to it with the row of monsters that you could possibly, or just one monster.
Well, there's like 4.
Is there a couple monsters you can fight?
Well, there's like one main monster, and then there's a bunch of like little guys.
No, the row of guys, or was it another row of monsters?
Sorry, I think there's 2.
Where you pick the attribute that you would fight them with.
Right. I thought there was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, whatever. There's monster or monsters.
Right.
There's another thing you can do
Well,
besides if you don't want to buy stuff.
Yeah,
You can do
Incorporate 2
something
dice.
else. Right. So
cool. Eric,
For me, Gizmos is another game that I quite liked in 2018. If you liked pumping out big old combos, you get to pick a dice. Yeah, not dice. You get to pick a marble out, and once you do that, you get to do 5 other things. If you want a game like that, yeah, this is the one to get.
my last one on here is Trajan. We played that very early in the year. Did you put it too?
Yes.
Yes. This game is phenomenal. I'm so glad that we couldn't find it anywhere, so we played it on Tabletop Simulator. But I'm so glad that it's coming back out, and it's on pre-order, and I believe it gets released in January. This month.
This month? Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So I will be buying that. If you want to buy it, that's fine. I'm just
we'll
saying
have it
is being purchased.
Yeah.
Matt, you got anything else? Or
the last one I have, I've got 2. One that makes sense, and one's just kind of being silly. But we finally got to play Time Stories.
Yes.
And that was pretty good. So everybody knows what Time Stories is. It's good stuff. And then my other one is Drop Mix. 'Cause
Drop Mix.
I think it's funny.
That never says that. It's very saddening.
Yeah, it should.
Drop Mix. Kind of like starting every Nintendo game. Anyway, Eric, anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, also, just add Concordia. We already talked about it.
Oh, that's fair. Well, cool. I've got a lot of other games on here. I mean, I just didn't want to talk
Write
about
them
1,000
off,
of them.
right.
Like Santa Maria was good. Michael Strogoff, actually, I probably should have put that in the surprising category.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised that it was as good, or I liked it as much as I did.
Yeah. I also like Coimbra, Pioneer Days. Both of those were really good for me.
Fair enough. What about favorite convention?
Ooh, that's hard. Because every convention for me has its own
Little thing about it, yeah.
Right.
Reason you like it, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know that. What's your favorite?
What about you, Matt?
Well, I think I only went to Gen Con this year. I think that was the only one I went to.
Whoa, really?
Because I was on the
that's
cruise
right.
on Origins.
Oh, that's right.
I remember Nikki's van was having car troubles with the Lexicon one. Cincinnati one, Eric always tries to get me to go, and I just don't go because
Come
I
on,
just
man.
don't.
Come on, man. It's so close.
Yeah, so I only went to Gen Con this year.
That's fair. Mine's Gen Con.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if there had to be just one,
I
guess
do like
it would
Origins
have to
better
be.
than Gen Con, though.
You do?
Yeah?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
It's like a smaller Gen Con, not as crowded, but still, you get that Gen Con feeling.
Yeah, you actually get the opportunity to sit down and play games a little bit better.
That's fair.
You can demo the games that they're kind of, you're getting the hotness value is devalued, I guess, because you're getting the games after they've been
Gen
out
Con
for a
release.
year, right? Gen Con released, right?
Yeah.
But you do finally get a chance to sit down and have the opportunity to play a lot of those games that you didn't feel like standing behind 10 people to play at Gen Con.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. I like Gen Con, I think, because the consumer in me
Yeah.
loves
See all
deals.
the newest stuff
They have a lot of good deals.
and deals.
Yeah, a lot of good deals. Origins has good deals. They just don't have as many vendors.
Right.
So, but they have some great deals.
And is it just me, or was Origins match rates better too? Ain't it?
This year
this
for
year,
us,
for sure.
yes.
Yeah,
As a
because
matter of
Gen Con
fact,
could make up their mind on which one they wanted, I
yeah.
guess, or whatever.
Yeah, Gen
so.
Con did the new system. I forgot his name. He bought a lot of games.
He bought a lot of games.
He
bought all the games.
He had like
200 or
$1,200.
something. Yeah, it was like,
it was a lot.
you know what? Actually, going back to my best gaming moments, I'm going to add in there about Eric and I getting our games from the math trade to take back to the car.
Yes, I know. It was
And it's kind of sarcastic that it's called best gaming moments, but oh my gosh, we were carrying so many games. We had so many people like stop and like
hey, check these guys
admire.
out.
Yeah, like what is going
What are
on?
they doing?
These guys carried. We probably had at least 50 something games apiece.
Yeah, I mean, the IKEA bags or Costco bags, they were full. I had like 2 of them. So heavy, had to take multiple breaks getting from there to the car.
Yeah, so good, so good. I look forward to doing that. Math trading is awesome, man, so good. I kind of wish I was disappointed actually in Gen Con's math trading.
Yeah, Gen Con's math trade was, I think I had like not even a full bag
Yeah, it was
in
weak.
comparison.
It was so weak. Anyway, looking forward to Origins next year.
Yeah.
So anything else before we move on to our top 5 board games that were released in 2018?
No.
All right.